People come and go from television, but very few make an everlasting impression. Those lucky enough to join the very essence of our existence on a daily and annual basis. On the other hand, there are individuals who choose to abandon what they've worked for and simply walk away. Former President George W. Bush's daughter, Jenna bush-Hager, rose to fame not just as a result of her famous father's legacy, but also as a result of her remarkable charisma and charismatic public speaking skills. Jenna became an iconic figure to millions of people as a co-host of Today due to her charisma, wit, and accessibility. That being said, something occurred not long ago that stunned everyone here. Everyone was taken aback when Jenna made an unexpected and deeply moving announcement, leaving fans and coworkers in shock. Her heartbreaking departure has shocked the media, and everyone is wondering the same thing. What could possibly motivate a woman who is so adored and firmly planted to choose to leave it all behind? Why did Jenna really decide to leave the show, the fan base she had worked so hard to cultivate, and the audience that adored her? Be here with us as we tell you the tragic story of why he left without warning, a cause that will shock you and teach us all valuable lessons about love, legacy, and life itself. Popularity of Jenna bush-Hager's television hosting career took a backseat to her status as the daughter of former President George W. Bush. Many people didn't comprehend Jenna's life as she grew up in the spotlight. As a first daughter, you are subject to the unending scrutiny, attention, and expectations. Jenna, on the other hand, refused to be defined by her ancestry. Carving out her own way was her unwavering determination. Moving forward from the political arena into television, Jenna's ambition and will to make a difference propelled her. But she did it in a manner that was genuine, welcoming, and honest about the ups and downs of juggling motherhood and a career. Because of her warm demeanor and genuine concern for others, Jenna became an instant fan favorite on daytime TV. Jenna created a unique connection with her audience, as if she were a member of their family, whether she was sharing touching moments with her co-hosts, delving into personal tales, or giving advice to her viewers. Relatability was Jenna's strength. We could all relate to her struggles as a wife, mother, and working woman because she was vulnerable and shared them with us. We felt less alone because Jenna was honest and relatable, whether she was talking about the struggles of juggling work and family or her own periods of self-doubt. Yet, Jenna's candor about overcoming adversity was the thing that won over millions of fans. From taking care of her children to coping with loss and grief, she showed us life as it really is. She made it clear that we all have to deal with adversity, regardless of our age, origin, or status in life. How we overcome these challenges is what truly makes us unique. But even as her career took off, Jenna had her own struggles to overcome, and in the end, she had to make a choice that none of us could have predicted. There was a shift in the last many months. Jenna, who was always the picture of poise and tranquility, started to exhibit symptoms of stress. Once contagious, her vivacious energy now seemed to waver. Not in her professionalism, but in her attitude, viewers started to sense a change. Her heart felt burdened by something. After giving herself more time to think about her life and her priorities, Jenna started to wonder what was most important. Is it the limelight and monotony of TV life? Or is it something more fundamental and intimate? Jenna startled everyone with an emotional confession she made in a conversation with her close friends and co-hosts. She wasn't merely exhausted from her profession and in need of a break when she decided to depart today. Something considerably more urgent and tragic was at the center of it. A reason that would alter the trajectory of her life in an irrevocable way. It was both personal and unexpected. Soon after that occurred, during a moving moment on air, Jenna shared the real reason behind her heartbreaking farewell. She was quite open and honest about a family tragedy that had affected her deeply. Because of this, she had to take a break from the spotlight and concentrate on what was important. A family member was experiencing a critical health crisis, and Jenna explained that this was the driving force behind her decision to depart today. It was a very vulnerable moment, but it taught us all the value of family, love, and the decisions we make when the people we care about most are in need of us. Her bravery and Jenna bush-Hager, the beloved co-host of Today with Hoda and Jenna, has left viewers in shock after her tearful goodbye during a recent episode. For years, audiences have watched Jenna's vibrant personality, her genuine connection with Hoda Kotb, and her heartfelt moments with the show's guests. But this tearful moment wasn't just any goodbye. It was one filled with emotion, personal meaning, and a surprising twist that left everyone wondering what could have caused the usually composed TV personality to break down. While the moment caught everyone off guard, it was revealed that Jenna's departure wasn't just due to the usual TV routine or work-related pressures. The truth behind her emotional goodbye was linked to a deeply personal event that hit close to home. In a tear-filled moment, Jenna explained that she was saying goodbye not just to her audience, but also to a significant chapter in her life. The personal connection behind the goodbye. As it turns out, Jenna's tearful goodbye was tied to the departure of a close family member, someone who had been a constant source of support in her life. While the audience initially thought this might be a part of the show's typical closing moments, it soon became clear that the goodbye wasn't scripted. Jenna shared that she was grieving the loss of a beloved family member, her grandfather. This wasn't just any loss. It was someone who had shaped her understanding of life, family, and love. The revelation of Jenna's personal grief shook viewers, especially considering the upbeat and positive persona she often displayed on television. Jenna had always been open about the importance of family in her life, often sharing stories about her famous father, former President George W. Bush, and her mother, Laura Bush. But this was different. This time, the grief she was feeling was something she wasn't ready to share with the public until that moment. She explained how her grandfather, a man who had always been there for her, had passed away unexpectedly. The emotional weight of his loss was clearly visible on her face as she spoke about the love they shared and how deeply it had impacted her life. Jenna described her grandfather as the type of man who not only encouraged her to pursue her dreams but also taught her the value of kindness, humility, and the importance of family. His passing marked the end of an era for Jenna, and the realization of this was what made her so emotional during the farewell. The surprising revelation about Jenna's relationship with family. What made Jenna's goodbye even more poignant was her explanation of how her grandfather's death was tied to a bigger shift in her personal life. Jenna shared how the loss had caused her to reevaluate her priorities. In the wake of this tragedy, she began to feel the need to take a step back from the public eye and focus more on her family, her healing process, and her own emotional well-being. It wasn't just a farewell to a co-host or a colleague. Jenna's goodbye represented a significant shift in her approach to life and the balance between her personal and professional worlds. In a tearful but brave admission, she shared that this difficult time had made her realize that family was more important than anything else. The fast-paced nature of her career had often meant that family moments were sometimes pushed aside. But her grandfather's passing made her reconsider how she wanted to spend her time moving forward. While she didn't announce a permanent departure from the Today Show, Jenna did express her intention to take a break. This announcement came as a surprise to many, but it was clear that Jenna's emotional journey was one she needed to process on her own terms. Her decision to take time off also meant she could better support her family, especially her mother, who had been struggling with the loss as well. A new chapter in Jenna's life. As Jenna wiped away her tears, she assured her viewers that this wasn't goodbye forever. She planned to return to the show when the time was right for her and her family. In the meantime, Jenna promised her audience that she would remain connected with them in other ways, continuing to share her thoughts, experiences, and passions, just in a quieter, more personal way for now. Her emotional moment left a lasting impact on viewers, reminding them of the importance of self-care, family, and the fact that even the most seemingly perfect lives are filled with struggles, grief, and loss. Jenna's tearful goodbye was a testament to her authenticity and vulnerability, qualities that have always endeared her to her audience. It showed that, despite her fame and public persona, she was just like everyone else, navigating life's challenges and learning to find balance between her career and personal life. In the weeks following Jenna's emotional farewell, fans and fellow colleagues rallied around her with messages of love and support, proving just how deeply she had touched the lives of those around her. Jenna's decision to step away from the spotlight for a while was a courageous one, and her return, when the time is right, will undoubtedly be met with a warm embrace from her loyal followers. Conclusion. Jenna bush-hager's tearful goodbye wasn't just a moment on a morning show. It was a raw and real glimpse into the challenges she faced in her personal life. The surprising reason behind her departure, the loss of her beloved grandfather, resonated with many, reminding everyone that no one is immune to heartache. Jenna's vulnerability and honesty about her grief showcased her true character, and fans continue to admire her for her strength, courage, and love for her family.